Okay, Taurus, this is Kendrick from Providence Tarot, and I am here to give you your second proofread for the month of July. We're almost in August, and that is so crazy to me. What am I looking for? Anyway, Taurus, this is your spread. I didn't even get to do a 3-stack for you. Maybe my cards are like, oh my God, you need to do this. So they're like just falling out. Aries fell out and now yours have fallen out. You may have gotten one card that Aries got, but it's a planet that likes you, okay? Oh, yeah, twice. Anyway, and you got one of your cards. So let's look at the first card that I saw for you. It's the moon, and it's talking about fears, it's talking about hidden things, and it's also talking about the inability to see the other side of a situation. So you might be emotional about something, or you might be emotionally affected by something. This could be a positive emotion. There could be some light shed on something that maybe was a mystery to you before. This also is talking about secrets and just talking about things that are being maybe kept from you, or that you might be keeping from someone. You know, it could have to do with like goals, or what you might have, what sort of determination you might be having right now. You might just have a lot of inspiration, okay? And you might just be feeling very imaginatively creative, and you want to do a lot of different things, and it's just saying you have to like hold on, slow it down, because you know the moon moves pretty quickly. It goes very quickly through the signs. It changes every 2.5 days or so, like that. We just had a new moon. The moon is exalted in Taurus, so it's saying like, you know, take your time. This is a period of growth that we're about to experience now that we've had this second new moon in Cancer. This is very much mothering energy. Maybe, you know, there's a lot of things that are bringing a focal point to you being a mother, or maybe in the future being a mother, that type of thing. I'm also getting like feeding, nurturing your body. Also be very good to your body, right? We're thinking of like new goals to have. That's why it's always good to set new goals, because it gives you a new sense of purpose, right? So the moon is also talking about the hidden goals, the things that you have in mind for yourself that you may have not shared with anyone else, right? Some of you could be sharing those things with people now. Okay. The Saturn, which is the opposite of the moon, is in Taurus here in the 7 of Pentacles, and this is saying that, you know, there might be something that you could be just feeling like pressure on financially. You could be feeling the financial pressures, or you could just be feeling the pressures of like wanting to see an accumulation of reward for your work, you know? And you want to kind of like see where things are going, because there's a need to, there's a want, right, for victory. You want to feel victorious. You want to feel successful. You're trying to meet a goal. I feel like there might even be sort of like a deadline, right? You might even be thinking of that. You might be thinking of dates, that type of thing too, because a deadline usually is a date, and this person is looking towards something and they're kind of like, I'm ready for it now. Right? It's almost like they are presenting themselves, or they are presenting something as such, but it's almost like you don't want to have a premeditated vision, right? So you might need to slow it down a little bit and try to be a little bit more thoughtful in this process, because the 7s are very thoughtful. There's a lot of insight that is happening through this process of waiting. And I feel like you just need to allow yourself to learn from this experience, okay? And just soak up all of this stuff. Think of it as like, you know, a challenge that you're definitely up for, no matter what. Don't give up. Okay, so the 5 of Wands is coming up here, and this is talking about conflict in groups of people, maybe at work. Could be something going down at work, or there could be something going down in the bedroom for some of y'all. You know, this could just be like not being able to get together, right? Not being able to have that romance, right? Not being able to have the time or make, you know, the schedule work For some of you guys, this is dating. This is like having trouble dating, right? And for some of you Tauruses, this is kind of like fighting with your friends or fighting with your family or people that are in a group that are close to you. You know, everybody affects the other person. And maybe it's best that you've learned your lesson not to get too involved in certain things. Maybe something doesn't concern you, but you probably have some mature insight. Yeah, and I feel like someone has a conscience and someone doesn't have a conscience, right? And you might be thinking of that as well. You know, what are you fully aware of in this experience that you may not be getting what you had expected out of, right? So it's kind of like, if I'm fully aware of something and I'm not getting what I expected, and what I'm fully aware of is that this is kind of like not really for me, or these people are not really the people that I want to be around, or I don't really want to come to an event or something that I'm invited to because I know so-and-so is going to be there, then you know not to go, okay? So anyway, let me look at the other two cards that fell out for you. The Lovers is coming up. So this is talking about the beauty within the experience. So it's kind of like understanding, getting to know, compromise. Are you competent, right? Do you understand the give and take, the flow of energy, and how energy has to be exchanged in order for things to kind of like go well, you know? Okay, we're not trying to be difficult here. And if someone has an opinion, it's really just because they're trying to be helpful, and the tone in which they did it may have been a mistake. You know, they may have not even been paying attention to that. It may have just come out. They may have just blurted something out and they didn't really mean it. You know what I mean? As in the way that you may have expected it to be. This is also just kind of like trying to take a practical approach to each day, living each day in the moment, and then you'll be able to appreciate everything as it happens in the moment, good or bad or neither, right? Also, this is kind of like, be clear in your communication in terms of like how you want others to understand you, you know? And it's not being manipulative at all like the devil. It's kind of like really telling you and saying and speaking, and like, you know, it's not like no one's being attacked. It's, I can just purely speak. Someone is being emotionally affected by how they might be allowing someone to control them, or someone might just be in conflict with someone in an emotional way. Someone might be affected by someone in an emotional way, and they may need to kind of just get some space. Or actually, maybe you've had too much space. Maybe there's something with you guys. Maybe somebody is offering a cup, right? And someone is kind of like just sitting there looking. This is the moon in Cancer. So this is talking about emotional complacency, right? And you could just be stuck on a feeling or stuck in an emotional place, right? Or just not ready to like make the change yet, right? So this is saying you can only make the change if you so desire it, right? Because this is a 4 and it's related to the Emperor, but it's also related to the King of Cups, okay? And that is Scorpio energy, which is 1/3 Libra. So we could be dealing with Libra, Scorpio, or we could be dealing with Cancer or Aries here in this moment, Taurus. Whatever it is, if you want it and you know that it will satisfy you emotionally and maybe even sexually, but do you have your sexual independence is the question. Then, you know, it's different. But, yeah, you know, what do you want? What's going to make you feel happy? What's going to make you feel satisfied? You have to give yourselves those things that you want creatively as well, you know, because though that's what you know that you need based on what your emotional navigation system is telling you from the inside. Nobody's being like, hey, this is how you feel, and you should do this because of that. No one's ever going to do that. Unless you actually tell them how you feel and they're like, well, you just told me this, so I'm giving you this advice here. But you got to take it. Okay, so yeah, you could even be dealing with the mother, right? And you could even be dealing with some fears that you might just be having, you know, alone, coming up in your own imaginative self, extreme imagination that sparks an emotional response and reaction. Yeah. So you've got to get out, get up, get out and do something. You know that Macy Gray song? If you'd like to book a reading with me, email providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. It's Providence Tarot on YouTube, and it's also Providence Tarot on Instagram. My personal account is NYC Kendrick. by Taurus.